Hello, T.W. Smith here, Dub. I want to talk about some expectations of the sanding and refinishing process. This is kind of a all-encompassing mini checklist of things that you should be aware of. If you've been checking out some of our other informational videos, and some of this may be redundant, but again, this is an overall expectation list of what you can expect during the sand and finishing process. Some people, this is their first time going through, and it can be pretty major if you're not prepared. Some of the things to keep in mind: there is going to be noise. 220 volt machines are used during this process. The big machine, as we call it, has a good bit of noise, and it's going on with the edger, and there's buffers and there are vacuums. So just expect a good bit of noise during that process. There will be dust, of course. There is sanding, and even though that we do a good job of masking off everything, quarantining the room, draping the areas, there will be some fine dust that will filtrate or may filtrate in other areas. So just keep that in mind. Because of the vapors that are released during the finishing process, make sure that your pilot lights are out, or anything that is flammable, that has a flame, is out, because the fumes can be flammable. And just as precaution, you want to make sure that any exposed flames are put out. Also, pets, children, keep those away from the job site for their protection, as well as to make sure that nothing gets overcomplicated during the job. You don't want your floors to get prints on them and then track that on your new carpet or on other areas of the house. So make sure that those things are under control. The typical sanding job, we'll base it about 1,000 square feet. That's usually the typical sand and finish. The sanding part of that alone, allow 2 days for that. Then after that, there will be stain, which is applied on the second day. And then the third and fourth day, it'll be top coats. So be prepared for 3 to 4 days typically for an average sanding job. Also, during that time, of course, you want to make sure that foot traffic is kept to a minimum. During any of the finishing process, staining and coating, there can be no foot traffic at all. So you'll need to make preparations for that. The drying time on that is usually 12 to 15 hours in between coats. So if you need to go in there to get anything overnight, it's usually when you can, in the next morning, get across the floor to get what you need before the crews go back in there. Crew hours vary. Ours are around 9 to 5. Most of the homeowners are not, they work, so they're gone, and we like to plan it so they're at work while we're at work, and we're home while you're all at home, and it just makes things less complicated. So that's why a reputable flooring contractor is important, so you have a good working relationship and there is a good comfort level while you're away at work. Once the work is completed, you may need to replace or repaint your shoe molding, touch up your baseboards. We don't take it off. We only recommend you do if you plan to replace it, because it may get broken. Our machines don't damage them, but they will abrade them because we have. If this information was helpful and you would like to receive 20 free videos of the top questions people ask most about hardwood floor refinishing and restoration, visit www.restoreyourhome.com. restoreyourhardwoodfloors.com. That's restoreyourhardwoodfloors.com.